So you just were out driving?
No, I don't want to admit that.
Okay. Okay. Did you come out to see somebody today?
Somebody invited me to come over.
Okay. Well, who was that?
Cheyenne something.
How'd you meet Cheyenne?
I was online, came up.
Okay. When you were online, do you do that at home, or do you?
I do it at home.
You do it at home? Okay.
Yes.
Is that generally the only place you do it?
Yes.
Okay. What do you have your own personal computer or laptop?
Yes.
Is it
Both.
Oh, do you have both?
I actually have 2 laptops.
Okay, 2 laptops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You just
It's my business.
okay. It's your business. Okay.
What type of business?
I do web pages for University of Cincinnati. I have access to those. I need to have access to them in order to do the business with them.
Okay. Okay. And you usually use all those computers to chat to people, or you just use one specific, or?
Usually at home.
Okay, usually at home. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And
If I do chat,
If
which
you
I
do
don't do. But that, again, because of the fact of the business that I'm in, chat is a part of what I do, and chat is a part of University of Cincinnati distance learning.
okay.
And I need to be able to access that in order to be able to do the business I do
Okay.
with them.
Okay. So you met Cheyenne.
I didn't meet Shine. She came after me.
Okay, she came after you. Tell me about that.
I don't know. I don't exactly how it happened at all.
Okay.
I have no recollection at all what happened for her to make contact with me. I don't know. Was I on some line of some sort? I have no idea.
So you were chatting, and she came on to you while you were chatting sometime.
Well, somebody did, whatever who that Cheyenne is.
Okay. Do you know how old Cheyenne was?
She told me she was 13, but and I was very, very, very. I don't do that.
You don't do that.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not there.
You're not there.
Not at all. I'd be happy, like give me an 18, 19-year-old, and I'll be happy.
Oh yeah.
Okay. 13-year-olds, God, it's gross.
Not your thing.
Yeah.
And when you were talking to Cheyenne on the chat line, what'd you guys talk about?
Well, and up until this afternoon, which was I don't know what I gave in for, but I thought she was more like an adult, but. No, I was very, very cautious not to be there. I didn't want to be there.
Okay.
I really don't. That's not my thing. I don't like it. I don't want it. Don't want it. Oh, where's work?
But you might have had a little curiosity.
No, I don't even.
Which is
I'm
normal.
not even curiosity. I don't have any curiosity about it. It's too young. It's stupid. And now you can go back and look at all the records of the conversations I've had. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. It's stupid. I don't. That's not what I want to be.
Okay. You know.
I don't even. That's not me.
Is that you?
No, not at all.
Do you have any type of webcam or anything like that?
I do have a webcam.
Okay. Okay. Do you ever use it for any purposes? Or?
It's available.
Okay.
Use it. I don't know what that means.
Okay. Right. So we didn't get into what you guys talked about. What you guys talked about?
I was very, very up until today, which is obviously the reason the results have come. I have been very, very cautious of not talking about anything. I do not want to be involved with a 13-year-old. I do not like it. I don't want it, and for some reason, I just gave relaxed and.
So who do you think you were talking to?
Another person,
Another person.
really. That's perfect. And that's honest with you. I don't know, for whatever worth value that is.
Okay.
I cannot condone the statements that I would have made this afternoon to her. I wish I could retract them,
Yeah.
not because of you guys,
Yeah.
but because of the fact that I just don't. That's not it. That's not me. I don't see it. I don't.
Jim, I understand. All right. And you, I understand you've made a mistake here, okay? I've read the chats.
Right.
Okay?
And you can see how.
I see here where you told her that you wanted to fuck around. And that
We're then what provoked that?
yeah.
I mean, we can go down.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to the details of the thing.
Yeah.
I understand what you got.
Yeah.
And I know what you got.
I'm just trying to understand here.
I
did
not meet with her. Number one. Number two, I didn't really want to meet with her.
Okay.
It was. I really. If you go to the bottom lines of things, let's talk about facts that I denied, and I did not want to do that. I really did not want to.
Jim, I know you're under a lot of pressure right now.
I'm not
sure
under
your wife.
pressure at all.
Well,
I'm not. I'm really not. I mean, obviously being here is a little bit of
Yeah.
pressure, but that's not.
Are you married?
Yes. No. God, no. You want her? You can have her. I'm sorry.
I got one of my own. That's enough for me.
Yeah, this is just give her ammunition. That's all.
Well, I'm not trying to give no ammunition for nobody. This is just me, you, and Kate here. Okay.
Well, it's not, but
Well,
okay. I did not do anything to this, whatever this person is, whoever it is. I did not intentionally
okay.
I met with this person because this person, whoever it is, male or female, whatever, enticed me to the point where I
Enticed you.
wanted to. And I
Did you? So you guys did talk about sexual acts in your conversations.
don't know that.
Okay.
You can go back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
don't know.
looking.
I don't know. I really don't know. It doesn't really,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned,
You know.
it doesn't matter.
Jim, I'm just trying to figure out what really happened. Because if we don't talk about it now, and if I just give this to somebody, they're going to think you are a sick, maybe possibly a child predator, and I don't think you're that point, okay?
I'm not.
And you're not. But if we don't talk about it, what else?
Tell me.
What else can I tell people? Saying, Jim made a mistake. This
I
is
didn't
what
follow
happened.
through. Number one. Number two.
Yeah.
Number two. Because the fact I didn't follow through is I'm not so sure that I wasn't turned down the street right when I was picked up.
Yeah.
If you check back on the records, on the results, there have been at least three times where I turned around. And I don't do this. Number one, I don't really want to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Give me some sex, okay? And I'll find ways to do the sex, but not this youth thing. This is crap. This is really crap.
If nobody stopped you tonight, what do you think might have happened?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. And I'll be honest with you about that. Nothing. Nothing would have happened. Okay. God, is this a place to tell the stories?
It's as good a place as any. Jim, we're just trying to be honest with each other.
I went to a swingers club last night and walked out
Where's that at?
in Dayton.
Up in Dayton, Ohio, Kentucky?
Dayton, Ohio. I walked out. And the reason I walked out is because, no, it's not for me. I'm not selective. I don't want you to think of it as being selective. I'm looking for some satisfaction from somebody. And I'm not looking, and again, my own motivation is not to just find somebody who's interested in me. Okay, not young, not old, not fat, not thin, not someone who is interested in who I am. And that's where we are.
And how long have you and your wife been divorced? Or been separated? Or
We've been divorced for 2000. What was it? 4 years, almost 5 years.
5 years ago? And
I've had relationships with other women. It's not that. It's not a sexual thing at all.
what is it?
There's somebody, and I guess, and I put this out. Maybe this isn't the right place for doing it, but Cheyenne, whoever Cheyenne is, son George down the hall, talked to me. And when that person talked to me, it was a person. Now, I have other people that I talk to, and for whatever that's worth, and I don't want to bring them into this, but
It made you feel good, didn't it?
it kept me away from that loneliness that I have when I'm sitting in my house by myself, and somebody talks to me.
Nobody to talk to.
Yeah,
You feel that lonely feeling, and you know.
whatever,
And-
however that culminates itself.
And she tried and filled that, didn't she? She fulfilled that need.
Yeah, but then it turns around because of this crap, which I understand you need for doing it.
But
I don't.
So,
I think
so
there's
you
a
live
need for
alone.
There's a need for people out there, and yeah, and that need is fulfilled by. And the law enforcement. By the way, I'm in criminal justice. I hate to tell you that. That's the bottom line. But
all right.
but I am. I at UC. I work for the criminal justice department. There is a need for people in this society to have a connection with somebody, and I don't care. I don't want where that connection comes from. I think is crucial, and that's where I got fucked up, you know. But don't judge me on that.
I'm not judging you.
I know you're not. I know, but eventually I will be. So yeah, and I know that system how it works.
But Jim, I can understand that, you know, when you're feeling lonely and you feel like you have, you know, you just live by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you feel that lonely, and you go home every night.
Yeah.
You're feeling lonely. You talk to Cheyenne,
Or whoever.
and whoever, you know, you're chatting to Cheyenne here. You feel like you can feel. Do you feel like you can feel open to say things?
Right, and I don't, you know, and I think it's unfair of the justice systems to condemn me for talking to somebody. If it's underage, I can understand that, and I know that's where you come in. My relationship was created with my relationship to Cheyenne was because of the fact that I closed that out, and I fault you guys with that because of the investigations or how you do that is that person who's making those communications starts to connect with the person. And that connection that you make is not maybe with the perverted people is one it's really negative. But with a person like me, it connects. There's somebody who's talking to you, and I don't know. You do what you have to do. Let's cut the bullshit. Let's go. I'm to the point, you know. I'm lonely. I'm not going to get back to my ex-wife. I wouldn't do that anyway.
Yeah.
I have people who don't want to talk to me anymore. I don't care. So I have somebody who's Cheyenne who talks to, or whoever it is, you, whoever it is, Cheyenne. And it's okay. Yeah, maybe I went over the border, and if I did, that's what I'm paying the price.
So you spend a lot of time chatting?
I don't know what a lot of time is.
I guess it's relative to.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, probably a couple hours a day,
Yeah.
maybe 3. And most of it's not chatting. Most of it's just trying to find somebody who wants to talk.
Yeah.
And I think that's a major problem too.
What do you generally talk about with Cheyenne or other people? Just whatever
Anything.
comes up?
Anything. Music. The weather. You know, really. You know, it really is. I'm trying to, you know, I'm really being honest about that. I don't think it's going to go any further. I mean, you know, you're gonna, this great, wonderful thing. You're going to find out the answers to the world on chatting, but it's a whole world out there, and I have some real problems with what's going on right here, because I think it's an invasion of privacy. Not in terms of the younger age. I think that somebody else should have stopped that before I got to it.
Well, I'm not a chatter,
Okay.
so if you could educate me a little bit on,
Okay. I'll go.
you know, where would you go to find
in the
somebody
case
to talk
in the
with?
case of the Cheyenne thing,
Mm-hmm.
that was done through Yahoo Messenger, who has, if you're 18, you're not allowed here. If you are, if this in the sessions, adult can, adult Kentucky. And in that regard, that's where I really come off with I think it's not fair for you to come at me. Except for the fact that up front, because of the way you guys do the way you do things, you make sure that you say it's 13, 14, whatever. But that shouldn't be there in the first place. If it's going to be if it's going to be something that legally binds Yahoo or Goggle or whoever it happens to be an adult place to go, then if I go there and you even say that you're 13, why are you there in the first place? How did you get through that first level? And I really have a problem with that. You guys have heard this over and over and over.
I'm really interested in knowing how this chat thing works and how you met Cheyenne What type
I
is there?
don't have any idea. I could go back to that. I don't know. I don't know what initiated the first conversation with Cheyenne. I don't remember. It could have been 3 weeks ago. It could have been a week ago. I have no idea. But I know that maybe I went through and I looked and I went down my list of people who were adult cams, and I said, "Hey, you interested in talking?" Boom, webcam available, and the name came up.
So you could tell that they had a webcam?
Yes, you can tell that.
Okay. So that's something that you look for
No,
when you talk to people?
I don't. No. I don't look for it. I don't
Oh,
look
okay.
for it. No, I look for somebody to talk to. You know, and
But if they have a webcam, even better.
no, it doesn't really matter. It
Oh.
really doesn't matter. It means that they're probably a prostitute and they're putting their stuff out in the can. Most likely, it means it doesn't mean a damn thing at all.
So what happens after that?
Okay, I put up a message out and they respond. And Cheyenne responds.
What happens after that? I'm not tech savvy. So
Okay. So Cheyenne responds. She says, "Hi, how are you?" "Hi." "Yeah, what you doing?" And it goes from there. And then, you know, if they're in the legal system and they're taking care of their little niches that they need to take care of, say, "Well, hey, I'm only 13. "Oh, that's okay. Still want to talk to you. What's going on? How was school today?" And I don't mean that. It sounds so trite, and it doesn't mean in terms of me. I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher.
Yeah.
Done it. How was your school today? Is not, well, let me get in and fuck you. That's not it. It's understanding that person. And I guess that's what the
Because they have social needs too,
they
just
have
like
social
you.
needs. Here, okay, and then in what is presented to me from Cheyenne or whoever it is, stupid said me as one, is here's this girl, supposedly girl, who supposedly is going through a divorce, whose parents are separated, not as an opportunity for me as a predator to go after them, but as a person to try and answer questions, and then I
You're
just
helping
thought-
them.
except for, like I said, this afternoon, which I went way over, and I only went overboard because of the fact that I personally was frustrated, but that's neither here nor there.
So do you see your role as helping them through their life as well as them helping you?
I'm always doing that. That's the person I am.
Sounds like you've done it for many years. I mean, you've helped people,
30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And not on the internet, but yeah.
Well, I'm not saying in your life. In your lifetime, you've helped many people.
To my colleague that's next door to me, I'm helping her do what she needs to do. I'm not a bad person. I'm really not. And I didn't hurt her. I hurt whoever this Cheyenne was, which was, and I knew it. I don't know. Maybe in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I knew this was bad. I knew this was bad. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking,
You
maybe
knew what was bad.
it was a setup. It was all a setup.
Oh, talking with her was a setup?
Yeah, from the beginning. And in that frame, I was hoping that it wasn't. But in the good nature that I am, that's so much more. I really wanted to help.
How are you going to help her? tonight?
I don't know. Tonight,
Mm-hmm.
talk with her. Talk with her about this divorce thing that her parents were going through. I mean, really, that was my just.
Do you think it could have been more?
No. Got it. Okay. And let me go back to what I was talking about last evening. I went to, like I said, a swingers club last night in Dayton. I walked down. 3 women there. That's not what I mean. I mean, sexual.
But in your chat, you asked if she would have
Well,
sex.
only because I'm trying to get that corner into her to let loose, and and I don't know, maybe in the wrong, maybe in the bad sense of things, maybe that was it, but I don't think it was. I wouldn't have followed through with it.
I think it was more just trying to get a connection with her.
Yeah, I really do. I think she just doesn't know where she's going. She doesn't know where she's going.
She's trying to figure life out, and you're trying to help her figure that life out.
At least in my sense of it.
In your mind.
I would have. The last thing I wanted to do was come over here to Campbell County and meet a 13-year-old. Give me a break. Last night I could have had 2 women. Why would I want to do that?
But tonight you were just trying to help somebody.
I really feel I was trying to do that. And I turned her down twice. If you read those damn emails, I turned her down twice. I'm not coming. I'm scared. I don't want to do it. It's too much for me to do.
Yeah.
And I really felt that way. But I was trying to. She was so searching. Now again, it's that. And this is the part that bothers me, is that provoking to get me to do something. Without that provoking, it should have backed off. If it had been backed off, I would not even have thought about it.
Yeah, but she must have really needed you for you
No,
to,
not
for
she.
her to,
Whoever it is. Let's make clear.
right, but what you thought was that she needed you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I go back to that in relationship to the police department, the criminal justice. You got to watch out how far you take that, because there are people who do care about other people, and I'm. You can write off this thing. You can take me to court and all that. I wasn't going to hurt that kid.
And I don't think you would.
I wasn't. There's no question about it.
Jim, I honestly think you were not going to hurt Cheyenne or whoever you thought you were going to meet tonight. Jim, I know you're not going to hurt her, right?
I know I wasn't.
I don't think you had any.
I have more intention of hurting myself than I do of hurting her.
But you needed to fill a void.
No. It's not a void. I don't want to make it a void. I got people I talk to some places. Okay.
About a need.
I have a need to help people.
Yeah.
Maybe that's closer to it than filling a void. Because I do have people who have problems, and I have no problems. But yeah.
Relationships are hard, and
Yes,
it sounds like that the connection that you were making with her, she was innocent, you were innocent, you were just trying to help her, and it just got out of hand.
It got out of hand. I agree with you.
Yeah, and it's much easier to talk to a younger person because they're more open and understanding.
But see, and again, this is the lesson I think that you need to learn. You're playing a role. or whoever's doing it, is playing the role of something that they're not. And when they play that role, they've got all this stuff behind them, all this garbage, not garbage, it's not really garbage, it's really experience. Okay, they've got that behind them, and they're manipulating it all the way through it.
Mm-hmm.
And with a person or a good, successful, what do they call it, officer who is doing this, a good officer can remove that a little bit, so they can be innocent to bring it in. But the return on that, which is the problem, is the person from the outside who comes in. They don't see it as that person who has all that control. And therefore, relax, give up levels of intensity that they might not have if they were talking to an adult. And therefore, because of relaxing that intensity, maybe get some things out that need to get out, but also in my case, go overboard, and expect that person who's on the other side, who is intelligent enough and has the experience enough to really understand what's going on there, makes a critical judgment instead of an emotional judgment on what's happened to a person like me. I don't know if that makes sense, but do what you have to do. I don't really care. I mean, I really do. It's either gonna crush my life, or we're gonna go.
I think by getting it off your shoulders and talking about it, I think at least you're making a step somewhere. I mean,
I'm not trying to get some damn 13-year-old in my bed. That's not it. If I want to get somebody in my bed, I go to the swingers club. I go to the people I date, which there are 3 or 4 that I normally date, and I can do that. I'm not a predator. I'm not that in that ballgame. I don't like even young women. There's a little problem with that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like young little guys. I'm not like, put them over there.
That's not your thing.
Okay, it really is something.
That's not your thing.
But it's not. But beyond not my thing. It's I don't. There are people out there who do, and that's not me.
And
I'm really serious.
you know, Jim, if I thought that was you, I wouldn't waste my time here with you. Because if I felt that way, I'd say, you know what, Jim's like that, throw you away, and out the door I go.
Okay, let me give you another indication. I taught music for 31 years. I have never been arrested in that 31 years for any kind of child molestation or anything like that. In the 31 years, I've seen many kids go through my system, and through the systems that I work. It's the wrong ballgame. I mean, it's not me.
Okay. So when you were online chatting, and you felt that you felt like you were talking to somebody who possibly did understand and probably had some experiences, you felt like you could let go, right?
You know, it's funny, to put it in perspective, over the last couple weeks, which China's been involved, I did not feel that way until tonight. And I don't know what made that difference. I have no idea what made that difference, but I felt like maybe it's a movement on the part of the people whoever did it to kind of motivate me to go that direction. No, I really was very cautious of not letting any information out, not even my emotions until tonight.
Tonight you felt, that you could be.
I guess I was
be
like
free.
I was just looked down. I was tired of playing games and doing things and just backed off and just, okay, you want to talk, you want to get together, here's my phone number, give me a call, I'll do it. I mean, really, that's
And you let your guard down.
I let my guard
You let
down.
your guard down.
I let my guard down only because of the fact that I had my guard up for weeks.
Yeah.
And only and through that guard that I had, I thought maybe she needed some help. Maybe she needed to talk to somebody. Maybe she was moving in a direction that I could help her in some way. Really, that's the honest answer.
And what did you want to talk to her about? I mean regards to
I wanted to open up those channels. I don't know where she was in that regard. I wanted to open it up so she could talk to me. And she in the past she was guarded too.
And she.
Or
You guys, I mean, you talked about a lot of things. You said you talked about, different things. How was it you guys talk about? I know you said you let your guard down
Mm-hmm.
and you're feeling lonely. How many times did you guys talk about sexual things?
Nothing up until tonight
Okay, nothing.
that I'm aware of.
Are you aware of?
I don't remember anything. The connotation of the and if it was, it was like really off the wall.
Off the wall.
Yeah, it wasn't like as straightforward as it was.
So what do you consider straight, kind of off the wall? Just something that you remember you guys talked about?
I don't remember. I don't remember specifically.
You guys, you just off the wall things, maybe about giving a blowjob or anything like that, or
Oh, talking about what kind of relationship do you have? What she have with her boyfriend?
Okay.
I mean,
did you guys go deeper than that?
He ever touch you?
Yeah.
About that? That's about it. That's about the extent of it. That's about the bottom of it.
Up on it. Did she ever talk to you about going deeper than that? I mean, any?
Not until tonight.
Okay.
And I'm not sure she really went that far with me as much as I went with her, which is my problem.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What you guys talk about tonight? That just kind of seemed like everything.
I don't know what it was about tonight. I don't know what provoked that. Maybe it's just a commonality or just a talking over a period of time, which is probably a lot of it.
Kind of culminated over a couple
No,
of weeks.
it wasn't a culmination. It was more. It was more of a a relaxed nature between two people. Like I said, it wasn't a culmination of things. It was more of a relaxed nature of understanding each other.
So you felt like you were on the same page.
Yeah, that we could talk about something.
And you were open. You guys were open.
I agree with that. I think for some reason it became more open tonight than ever before, and then obviously exploded. But again, I jump on you guys for that. I jump on you for that because that what I needed, whether it was Cheyenne or Joe Blow, I needed somebody to talk to, and instead of somebody to talk to, I ended up with investigations.
Well,
I understand. I don't criticize you for it. Don't understand. Don't misunderstand.
I understand.
It's a real social, and it's a real social problem. I don't know how often. Do you do this every night?
No,
No.
no. This is Jim. You know, like I said before, we're just trying to get at what happened tonight and what's been happening. And you know, I understand that you've had a rough time. You've needed to talk to somebody.
Yes.
You could have went out with 2 women or 3 women the other night.
15. I mean,
Right,
right. The other night,
Yeah.
2 nights up there.
Talking to Cheyenne made you feel good. Kind of let you.
It solved a problem,
It-
but it didn't solve a problem in terms of I didn't do anything except for talk.
Yeah. And when you, and then tonight was just a culmination of, you know, you felt like, you know, hey, maybe, you know, maybe I need to see her. Maybe she can actually, I can open up to her.
And that's exactly, and that is really essentially it. You know, would it come to in some sexual thing? I'm not going to say it wouldn't, but I'm in the other side of me, which it wouldn't have. It wouldn't have. I can't believe your phone's ringing. It would not have. It would never reach that point because of the person I am. And because I would never take advantage of her. If you go back on those and you'll see it, how many times I asked her, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure? And the reason why is because I didn't want to hurt her. I didn't want to, she was young, supposedly. She was young and I did not want to do that. I really, this young thing.
I don't think you, Jim, you did not. I know you didn't want to hurt her.
No.
And you went there tonight to see her, to help her out, you know, and things could have, you know, but you would. I don't think if anything would have happened, and I'm talking anything,
Okay.
you would have never hurt her. Jim, I know that.
No, I wouldn't.
You would.
That's not me.
That's not you. But you were there for her. You were trying to be there for her, and you came here for that reason, to be there for her tonight.
And let's be realistic about that too.
Yeah.
I came here to be for her, possibly sexually too.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I could ever have done that. I don't think I could ever done. I mean, I'm serious. I told you this, went to the Swingers Club. So I've been dating. I have gone there twice,
Yeah.
and I've walked away because, no, that's not what I want. I want to go to some place and meet somebody who really, really needs what I am, not my dick. You know?
He wants you for you. Wants Jim.
Yeah, and I'll do a hell of a lot for that. We can go into personal
Yeah.
details on that, but there are people. There are people in my life who would do anything for me to just give up everything I have and just go with them. But I won't do it. And there are other people on the inside who need every bit of me, and I can't give them that because I've got this other person who really needs me, who won't say anything.
And tonight. Go ahead.
Sounds like there's a lot of relationship issues going on
Oh,
for
absolutely.
you right now.
Oh, absolutely. I have no question about it.
Yeah.
I can be specific about it. You want specifics, or you want to talk about legalities? I have a girlfriend who won't get married, who doesn't want to see me, except for on the weekends when she wants to get fucked. Okay. I have another woman who would love for me to just move in with her. I can't move in with her because she's not going anywhere. She's not. I want this one to come around, and she never will. So what I do, juggle phone calls on those two. Then we add in the other emotions, and okay, so I can't satisfy any one of the two. I know you. I can see you're gone on this. You have no clue what I'm talking about. But this is all going on.
But these are your feelings.
Yeah.
These are your feelings.
Well, no, they're beyond my feelings. So they're people who affect my feelings, and they're people who I can get down on my knees and say, stop this shit.
And then
And they so eventually I'll die, and everybody else will go on.
and tonight,
It's just, as I said, I don't care. I don't want to be involved in a whole bunch of legal shit. I've been there before, not major, but
Yeah.
I know what it's like. I know what this shit is like, and
but you wouldn't be there for her tonight.
I wanted to help somebody out. I
And
wanted somebody. Her mother was not around. Her father was not around, and she didn't know what to do.
And she had
Advanced.
emotional feelings, sexual feelings.
Mm-hmm.
She had a multitude of feelings.
Right. And I could answer some of those by my dialogue, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And impact friend.
But right now, we're talking about it, and that's the main point. I mean, you could come in there and say that,
I still feel sabotaged,
I'm not trying to sabotage you.
but I feel sabotaged
Yeah.
Oh,
because of the fact that is I'm not out there fucking the 13-year-olds and or getting them drunk and taking them up to hotels, and as we always know from the news today.
Mhm.
I'm not doing that, and I don't have a desire to do that.
But you felt a connection tonight,
I
and tonight
felt
was,
she needed,
and she needed you, and you,
and I needed her in some sense. I
and
needed to be able to.
let yourself go.
No. I needed to.
help her.
There's a needy thing.
To help her.
I needed to fulfill a need of somebody, and I've always done it all my life. We go back to history with my school,
Yeah.
and it's always that trying to find some way to help some kids. And I really felt that need. It's not bullshit. It's just the way I feel.
That's bullshit. I mean, if that's the way you feel, I mean, I don't think that's bullshit.
Well, I know, but on the outside of it, people look at it. They don't see it.
But you have feelings. I mean, you'd be inhuman if you didn't have feelings. And tonight was about feelings.
It was.
Tonight was about feelings, and tonight was about you trying to help someone who you felt you needed.
Help them is the key word there.
yeah.
And-
And you wanted to share.
I wanted to
With
be.
them.
I wanted to be able after the discussion of the we talked about if it's sexual or whatever it happens to be. I wanted to share that this is how I would see it. What do you need? Where do we go from there? What how does my role change with you? Enough labor. Do what you have to do.
Jim, you've said several times that, you feel sabotaged. We're not here to make life harder for you. I mean, you're in the situation that you're in, and right now we have an opportunity to talk through things and maybe get you in a better situation so that you don't feel sabotaged.
Okay, in that relationship, in that perspective, how do I deal? I'm going to be online, unless you guys chop up my arms and take my job away. And deal with that when I see somebody who does have a need. I don't mean searching out. I'm not talking. I'm somebody. I have. That's a whole other thing. I never have gone to somebody on the internet who hasn't responded to me. However that plays a perspective and how you deal with the job that you do. For me, once they respond to me, then I have not an obligation. I need to. Do I need to answer them, or do I shut it off? And that is real. That is really hard for me.
Yeah.
That is really hard. When somebody said hi, after I said hi to them, I mean, just that simple. Just that simple. If I don't respond to them, it says, "Oh, well, he doesn't care." It's like the 37,000 other people that don't care, you know. And I have a real problem with that, because if somebody responds to me, I always respond to them. Okay, I'm sorry. What do we do here?
If you could talk more about the information that you exchanged with Cheyenne as far as pictures or
I never.
chat.
I did have my webcam, and my webcam has been both visual, as I mean, obviously seeing me, and facially, genitalia.
Genitalia.
Yeah.
How many times would you say?
I would say maybe one or two times that she has accepted to see me that way.
And that was on Yahoo.
It was on Yahoo, and it was her. I never forced it on her. She always asked to have an exception, to accept it. But not. It's not always been genitalia, but that.
Face, genitalia. So there's
Yeah.
multitude of different.
Yeah, but that's only, and again, only because of the fact that that's the way I was at that point. Not that I was, no, okay, Cheyenne is going to be on, so let's put it on my dick. No, it was never that. It was there. I just clicked on webcams available. She accepted it or not accepted it. In most cases, and she didn't always accept it either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, was this in response to the conversation you were
No,
having?
there was
or?
no. There was usually no conversation in relationship to that. No conversation. Nothing. Is this an adult cam? No, even that. It's cam is available. If you want, you can say it. If you don't.
When you sent that,
But that's again. But in relationship to other people other than Cheyenne, that was common practice for me.
what did you hope when?
If somebody wanted to look at it, they could look at it, decline, look at it, stop, go on, do their own thing.
So,
That was my
Yeah.
and that was my. That was what I expected them to do. If they didn't want to see it, they didn't do it. If they did see it and they didn't want to look at it, they could click off.
So you sent it as something as if she wanted to view it, she could view it. If she didn't want to view it.
Exactly. And I would have done that I would have done that beyond Cheyenne, way all of any other people that I had any contact with. I mean, when you go through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and you get a response, and you put on my webcam is available. That's it, and then you get that choice.
so when you said that there were webcam shots of your genitalia,
Mm-hmm.
what was going on? Was there masturbation involved?
Not in all cases, no. Just there.
Just,
There was masturbation in places of people who did have a connection with me. Okay, in other words, people who stayed with me and been long. Short term, no.
what about with
What about
Cheyenne?
No, I don't think so. And that may be just a, I don't remember, but I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think it was more like, here's a guy's thing, More that was more of it.
More of an education for her.
I think so. She was at least whoever she is. Go back to that.
Yeah.
It was more of a
Exploratory.
This is what a guy looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, your boyfriend looks like. You ever touched that? Your boyfriend? Oh yeah, I touched him once. That kind of- Nothing more than that.
Nothing
for
more
her.
than
That I remember.
I remember. Okay. And you said you only do that like 1 or 2 times. You said you sent something out, or
Probably 1 or 2 times. No more than that.
and then tonight, you said you were going to be for her in various issues. Because her son with her parents and.
She said her mother was working at the hospital and that she was free and I connected
And you
I gave her my phone number,
gave her phone number.
which was a big step for me.
Yeah, well, for
Well, a big step for me because number one, I never had I didn't even know where she lived,
yeah.
and then we followed through with that fiasco. Been driving all over.
Driving. How'd you find her? How'd you find her place there?
Luckily,
Did you get like a MapQuest or?
I had originally had a map, but we knew I spent an hour looking for directions were terrible. Or whoever it is, their directions.
They were terrible.
Yeah, they were.
So did you have to call her back, or?
She called me, but then obviously that was.
And that's where you kind of asked where is this?
Well,
at?
where am I going? What am I doing?
Was it a cell phone?
I'm not sure.
Or your
I had a
home
cell
phone?
phone.
So she was calling you on your cell phone?
Or whoever it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you ever called her on your cell phone or anything
No.
like that?
No, never. Not till night.
Okay. And tonight, I know a lot of things. You wanted to express certain things. You wanted to I'm trying to express your feelings, Jim.
Okay,
I'm trying to express your feelings, and because I want to get it right. I don't want to say something that's not right.
Okay.
But tonight, you wanted to see how she was emotionally, sexually.
Mm-hmm.
Does that what kind of when the condoms come into play?
Were the what?
Condoms she had on you?
I wanted to put them in my pocket, which I did last night also.
Yeah.
But maybe that should be noted.
Yeah.
I put the condoms in my pocket tonight.
Yeah.
If something culminated that it went that direction, I at least
You
had
want to
some
feel you want to be
protection.
safe?
Okay. The same reason why I had them in my pocket last night, in case of when I went to the swingers club,
Yeah.
I would have them in that case.
And you protect yourself.
Yeah. Number one, I protect myself. Number two, I protect the person who's involved.
Just like I said, you care about people. I can understand that you would want, like I said, you didn't want to hurt nobody.
Exactly. That's
And,
exactly it.
and that's and tonight went in that direction. You were at least been prepared.
I was prepared if it came to that point.
Yeah.
Which, did I really expect it to be there? No.
Did you want it to be there?
Oh yeah, I'd love to be there. Only in the sense that I'm frustrated as hell. Do I want this Ranger's Club? Nobody there? No, I can go down. I can go down the list.
Up and down, up and down.
I can go down the list. It's been 2 weeks since I've had a, and yeah, I'm frustrated as hell. But expectations of it being there, not any more than anything else. Really, and it really is an aggressive nature on my part. You know.
But you have feelings. I mean,
Well, but what I'm thinking of is, okay, I'm gonna go over and meet her. So what happened? Whatever happens, okay, it's fine. And then I'm thinking about, okay, well, I'm gonna stop over at Rhino's over after it's over with. Maybe there's, you know, Rhino's. Rhino's is over. It's a bar over in Eastgate. And okay, so if you know, if this like doesn't happen or whatever, I'm ready. That's exactly where it was.
and things would have went. Say things would have went differently tonight, and we were not here. Do you think you could have had a relationship with Cheyenne? Do you think there was enough of a connection there that you could have a relationship with her?
I think it's too early.
But you did feel connected. You did feel connected to her.
I felt connected to her, but but it was too fast.
Too fast.
It probably would have been one of those things where we sat down, have the iced tea, and I went home. And that's what's so bad about this, because that's where I was. You know, maybe she wasn't the same the same area, but or whoever it is. But for me, I really was not trying to. It's not this predator trying to.
And
Jim, we've done over that.
Okay, but the point is, you still think that there's some sense of that.
But Jim, if you made a mistake, I can handle. You made a mistake tonight.
I did not contrive this girl into having sex with me. What I did was I tried to meet with her,
to help her out.
to help her out in what she needs to do. She's going through some stuff with her, if that's really
And
true. And then I still go on with my life.
And that's different from a predator.
Yeah, well, I hope so. God, I hope so.
You know, Jim, I see the difference. Okay.
Okay.
And I see.
I hope so, because I certainly
there's a
not there.
clear distinction there.
Okay. Well, I just, you know, I don't want that clapped on top of me. I've spent many years not keeping away from it, but being aware that it's out there, and just being careful.
Yeah.
And then to fall on this is like.
Well, you've not had any issues before.
No, not at all. Not at all. But the thing is, music teacher, elementary school, there's magnitudes of shit out there for that. And things like this, if this had ever happened to me, I would be fired from West Claremont immediately. Because of the fact that there is that stigma. And because of the fact that, you know, I'm since retired, so that it doesn't matter anymore. But you should know that. You should know that those qualifications that come along with that territory, and it's not just music teachers, it's the other teachers as well. Any male teachers in the elementary grade.
And like I said, I don't consider you in that category. And
Okay.
while I'm here, is there anything? I don't think they expect I would find anything, but is there anything in your vehicle that I should know about? Anything?
I don't think so.
Would you mind if any of the officers would look through to see?
I've no, absolutely not at all.
Okay, so you don't mind if they look through your vehicle to see?
If they fill up my tires with air.
Well, I don't. I will ask them.
I'm sorry,
I will ask them, but I don't know what you'll get.
The reason I say that is because my light came on.
Oh.
So my air pressure is
Well,
down.
I will. I'll let them know.
There is not a damn thing in that car.
But you don't mind them taking
So
a
you don't
look?
mind them
absolutely
searching?
not at
You
all.
want me to go get those forms?
Yeah,
for you?
if you
I don't
okay.
do drugs. I don't do that kind of thing. I do drink, but.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hand me my paper and pen there if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I'll be back.
Okay. You know, I've had my drinks and have done that share of that shit. I was a professional musician for years and years and years. Never did drugs.
Never did drugs or anything?
About the only time ever, well, I could one experience. I'll share.
What?
Okay, I'll share. It was with my ex-wife.
Mm-hmm.
We were, I guess we were like, oh, I don't know, 3 or 4 years married. We had a 30-year marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, I want to try that pot shit. So I made arrangements to get this pot from somebody. I don't remember who it was. And we had rolled these little cigarettes and stuff. And didn't feel a fucking thing, right? She took a one draw of this, and she got deathly sick. I mean, deathly sick. I'm telling you, at the end of the whole evening, I had called the doctor, and I had taken her to the hospital.
So you had a whole night of just her idea.
Oh God! That's one of the only 2 times. The other time was I was playing a New Year's Eve job in Ashland, Kentucky, and the snow was really bad, and I had help move some equipment and stuff, and I pulled my back, and they took me to the hospital, and they gave me a damn shot of morphine at that time in Ashland. I couldn't sit up at the piano. I swear to God, I couldn't play. I couldn't play with shit. They'd hired me for like $100 for that night, and I could just that's my drug thing. I drink vodka. I drink a lot of different things, but probably a couple drinks a night.
Just a couple drinks a night. Yeah. You said tonight. You said you just had a couple drinks.
Oh, yeah.
A couple vodka tonics, I think you said. Or...
And that's what I usually do. I usually come home, take a couple drinks, and just relax, and that does me.
Can I get home, just kind of relax a little bit?
And I do at home. I do, and until I get a phone call that says, "Hey, you want to come over?" I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jim, we're just talking here, and that's the main thing. You know,
I really have not done anything wrong here, except for follow up on something that somebody else has provoked me to,
and you know, you like what we talked about. You know, you have a thing. You felt a connection. You felt a need to help her.
Well, but the thing is,
it
isn't a real person. So what I do is I cut it off, which is like my apparandi anyway. Which is I cut people off from really knowing me, which is probably more detrimental than.
How often do you do that? Just every so often, or anytime you get close to somebody? Or?
I have somebody that's really close to me right now, but she just, if she would come close to me, it would be my euphoria. Euphoria.
Yeah.
There are other people that I can. I was dating a couple on I don't know. 5 people, maybe. One person up in Wilmington, one person in Dayton. All online. And all legitimate and all real people.
Yeah.
And I said, well, the real person I want to be with is right here. And so I sent these emails to these other ones and said, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stop seeing you because I really want to see this one person. And then she doesn't understand. That's hard. That's hard.
It is hard.
Mainly because I know that she's the right person.
Yeah.
I mean, I was married for 30 years and knew it was the wrong person.
Yeah.
And I've known this person for probably 10 to 15 years.
Somebody you work with? Or?
No, actually not. It's somebody who I have had acquaintance with. And she's divorced and everything's fine. She's got older kids. I have older kids. And she just is so scared of. Come on in. You're the same person that left.
Yeah. Can I have that chat for a minute?
Yeah.
I'm going to run a copy of it so we'll have this somewhere to look at.
Okay.
Actually, the person I'm talking about is, and again, this is, you can take it for whatever, so she's actually a social worker.
Hey, can I have a folder for everyone?
Give it
Sorry, I'm
No,
sorry
that's
to
all
interrupt
right. Don't
you
do
guys.
your
I know
thing.
you're
Do what you have to do.
chatting, and
Yeah.
I'll be right
All
back.
right.
She's actually a social worker. She does with sexual abuse, and she does exactly what you guys are doing, except for on a medical aspect of it instead of a legal.
Okay. This
Yeah.
kind of helps people out too. See.
Basically, she's now a supervisor. She's working for job in over in Ohio. All the ones with the Marcus White cycles.
Visel.
Yeah, job in I can't remember the agency. It's part of the state of Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyway, so she's working with them. She's working as a supervisor. She works with basically physical abuse. She used to work with sexual abuse.
Okay.
God, day in and day out.
Yeah, that's hard.
Oh God, it's horrible. I mean, I would see her 2-3 times a week, and every time she'd come with another story of somebody that's been doing some crap. But now she's involved. She's a supervisor, but she's a supervisor over this physical abuse. I don't know if it's any worse or better. I mean, she's got 3 times a week. She's got some kid who's been killed by their parents.
It's overwhelming.
Oh, it is. It really is. It really is. And I sympathize with that. But that goes along with my feelings here too, because I respect what she does, and I kind of like. I just wish you'd reach a point where you were happy with dealing with that and can go to sleep at night knowing that you've done the right decision.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's very hard. And the divorce was hard between her and her husband, her ex-husband. My divorce wasn't as well. I say that. 2 weeks ago was the first time that my ex-wife and I, after 4 years, were able to sit in the same room.
Really?
Yeah.
That bad?
Yeah. And it wasn't me. It was her. She just couldn't. She couldn't do it. So, and then they add this onto it. God, let's add it up on the.
What made you guys separate or leave each other?
Well, to be perfectly honest, the woman I was talking about she wasn't totally committed to me, but I had a relationship with her, and her husband was a judge. Maybe go there.
Yeah.
And he has made it absolutely miserable for her to move on to anything. And I don't know. We connected. Actually, connected at church. I was an organist, and she was a piano player for one of the groups, and we grew, and I knew her kids. It was really healthy. It was really healthy, except for the fact that he didn't want it to happen, and he didn't know what to do when he lost. He lost his control.
Lost his control.
Yeah. And but the thing is, I've been over the years trying to recoup that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gotten her independence to the point where there's not a control issue anymore. It is, but it's a control issue on her part.
Mm-hmm.
I could care less. Come on, I love you. We could have a great life together. I want my independence.
Yeah.
It's okay. I can deal with it.
It sounds like you made peace with it.
I've made peace with it, as long as she understands that I truly do, to my dying day. She's the one I love.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do.
Okay. Sorry.
Well, it's okay, but that and 50 cents, what does it get you? You end up being lonely because you can't see her. But here's a perfect example. last 2 weeks, she had a breast examination, and it turned out that there was something they wanted to relook at. So they looked at it a second. And here I am sitting over here. She can't talk to me because if her kids see me seeing her talking to me, it's like the plague is hit. Her ex-husband is there, and she's worried about that.
Yeah.
And she does worry about that. And then comes down to the fact, well, not only the second examination, but we're going to have a biopsy too. I can't do anything. I can't console her. I can't go into the hospital. I can't say. I can't do anything for her for fear that there'll be repercussions from an asshole who really doesn't have any control over it.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Okay. So I'm really frustrated in that aspect because the fact is I do care about her, and I'm thinking she's going to die. Her mother died of breast cancer, and she's got a couple places. God, man, I'm just going through all this shit, and I'm thinking, yeah, well, I'll sit in my house and I'll do her music.
Yeah.
And you'll be gone.
Sounds like it does hurt. It's a lot of emotions, to deal with.
It really
What weighs on
can't do
her?
anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it weighs on you.
What? What am I going to say? Well, I'm going to come to the hospital anyway. It just aggravates it.
Yeah.
So I said, do it.
Yeah.
My job is great. I have a great job, by the way.
Sounds like it. You said you work.
Oh, I love it. Don't take that away from me, I'll fuck you. Well, I'll put sample list.
I just keep it cordial.
No, I really do love my job. I do web pages every day.
Hey, everybody okay?
No, we're just crying like shit.
Yours is just trying.
You missed the emotional part.
Oh, well, I'm glad for
Good.
you and for me, right?
Right. Anyway, no, I do. I really do love my job. My job is a great job. So we're gonna have to beer win.
Well, we have some housekeeping stuff that we have
Okay,
to
just
take
do what you
care
gotta
of
do.
first.
Okay.
You want to go ahead and?
Yeah. First of all, I've asked you about your vehicle. You said there was nothing in there, nothing in there that we should worry about anything. You had no problem with us looking at it. All I'm going to ask you to do, if you're willing to do, is just sign that you're okay with that.
Okay.
No problem. Let's see. What we got here. Let's see here.
As long as that's what it says.
That's what it'll say.
And you'll have an opportunity to read it.
All night long.
Let's see here.
No, I really do like my job. I do web pages, and I go in early. I go in at 6:30 in the morning, and I usually stay till about 2:30.
At the university?
Yeah, criminal justice.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like a lot of freedom.
actually, it's the University of Cincinnati is really, well, the people I work for are really flexible about that. I go, actually, if it's a good morning, I'll go in and exercise and go to the rec center and do
Oh,
that,
yeah.
and then show up about 7 or 8 o'clock. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, the vehicle information.
Is it in here?
So what's the story on me, guys?
Right now, we'll just do the housekeeping and I can give you a little bit more of a answer here.
Is it in here?
you like vehicle information or
I'll
something.
see if it's in.
What kind of vehicle did you have?
It's a Aztec, Pontiac Aztec 2003.
2003.
That's what they told me. I asked him. I didn't really know. Oh, 2007. You know how this is in terms of being somebody who does with web pages all the time.
Well, but I think we've kind of reached that issue. It's we've talked about that, and I think we will address those issues.
Here it is. 2003 Pontiac Aztec,
Champagne.
four-door wagon sport utility.
That sounds good. How much were you giving me for it?
I don't know. I'm not that good.
I was ready to sell it a year ago, and they wouldn't give me shit.
That's the way it goes. They depreciate so fast
Oh, it's
as soon
terrible.
as you pull them
It
off
is
the lot.
absolutely terrible.
Yeah. You want me to read it for you?
Let's see if I can do this.
Okay.
So, have either one of you taken the master's degree online program at UC?
No, have you set it? Did you set it up?
I have been there since the very beginning of it, and it works. I'm pretty much involved with it.
Yeah. The
Yes.
mechanics of it online.
I do the delivery part of it.
Mm-hmm.
They've got top-notch people running the program.
Yeah. Have to look into it.
It's about $2,000 a quarter. But
Yeah.
But you can complete it in 2 years. Master's degree.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Who accredited them?
It's accredited by. You would ask me that. It's accredited by the people who accredit university education department. You can give them a call.
Yeah.
Because there's no accreditation department for the criminal justice at this point in the state of Ohio. I don't know if in Kentucky where there is or not,
Mm-hmm.
but in the state of Ohio there isn't. Florida was for,
Appreciate that.
you know.
I have to look at it and see.
I mean, if you're looking for a master's degree, it's an easy way to go. Coursework isn't too bad. A lot of reading.
Yeah.
I work with
So, go ahead.
all the professors that do their delivery, and so whatever tests they want, whatever kind of like we call modules. There's 5 modules. Every course is a 5-week course, and it's about, just off the top of my head, about $2,000 per quarter. So if you're talking 2 years, you're talking 16 quarters. That's about $30,000. But it gets you a master's degree in criminal justice. It's a master's degree in science, a master of science degrees. Try it again. Master of science degree in criminal justice from one of the top criminal justice programs in the country.
Mm-hmm.
It's right now UC's number 5 in the country, and these are top-notch. The actual professors do look at stuff. I don't know if you know any of their names or anything of your.
No.
But they're the people that are changing what happens. What you guys do day in day out.
Yeah. Has their program been really successful?
Yes.
The online?
The online program, we started 5 years ago with 15 students. We now have over 600.
Wow.
And
That's phenomenal growth.
well, yeah, and it brings in about $2 million a year profit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what am I signing?
All right, we'll do this first one here. Okay. This is for your vehicle. I circled vehicle located at Highland Heights Police Department, Highland Heights, Kentucky, 41076, and more particularly describes a 2003 Pontiac Aztec, Ohio plate DG73LC,
Good.
and your VIN number all that.
As if I remember.
Well, most people, some people do know. I granted consent to Detective Tom Nitschke, which is me.
Okay.
Known to me, I marked that out, detective with the Campbell County Police Department, and such other officers deemed necessary to assist. I know that I had a right to refuse to consent, and I have voluntarily give up that right. I know that the agent does not have to have a search warrant. But,
You want to search the fucking car?
well,
Yeah, you need to, right?
I have not been threatened or coerced in any way, and I have not been promised any favor.
Is that
or
what I just did?
Nah. I have read this consent form, or it has been read to me, and I understand it.
I understand it.
Okay,
Okay.
well, I need you to sign your name there,
Okay.
print it, and put your address, and then we'll sign this witness.
Okay. It's a good thing you asked me to print it.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
we could have made much out of the signature.
But that is my real signature.
Yeah.
Sure.
And all witnesses here. Just one other piece of housekeeping here. Not much.
Are you
Here,
ready?
you can keep your
Yes. No, you can just have a seat. The only other thing is, I know you said you had nothing in your house. Do you have anything inside your residence there on
Brandy Way.
Brandy Way? Is there anything in there that would give us any concern? You said you didn't have anything.
You have, the only thing that you would have would be the computer things, but you have all the references to that.
Okay. Do you have a problem with anybody looking in there to make sure there's nothing of?
Well, they want to see my genitalia.
would
I'm sorry.
you got me off guard there. Jimmy got me.
Yeah, we're
Did I really?
Jimmy got me.
it's late.
Yeah, it's late.
I'm sorry. No, there's nothing on there. I don't keep pornography on there. I don't distribute pornography. If somebody wants to go in there and go through and find some sort of program that I have,
There's no kiddie porn or anything like that.
no.
And that's not all. Everything's going to find is adult stuff.
No, I'm not even talking about that stuff. I'm talking about if somebody goes in, they find out that I have a piece of software that I have.
Oh,
No,
like
taken from somebody
Juarez or
else,
something.
That there might be something like that, but there's no. I don't do that. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Go in.
All right. You have no problem with that?
No.
Okay. Well, what I'll just do another consent if you don't have a problem with that.
Okay, but does that mean that they come in and take my computers away and cause me a problem not to be able to work?
Well, that could be an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if there's information, if they deemed it feels like it could have some information that they may need, that is a possibility.
Okay, so give me some help here.
I can't tell you what to do.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
I don't want to seem like I'm not cooperative because I really am cooperative
Yeah.
because I really don't have the kiddie porn shit on there.
Yeah.
If they want to do
Right.
that, if there's kiddie porn shit on there, somebody else has put it on there from some site or something. But in the same regard, I need to be able to use my computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's up to you if you want to consent or not. I'm leaving that up to
We
you.
can't make you any promises on
Yeah,
how
I can't
quick
say
you
no,
would
we're
get
not.
it back or
sign
not.
it? What happens if I don't sign it?
Then you don't sign
You
it.
don't sign it. That's okay.
It's
Only-
completely
only-
your call.
Okay, but in lieu of the conversation that we just had, I'm not putting you on the spot, but that is my reasoning for doing it.
Okay. That's fine.
I have to have access to my computer. I have to have it in order to do my job.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to force you to sign anything that you don't feel you want, and then I understand your reasoning. That's fine. And I'll just leave it at that. I think for right now I don't have anything else.
Do you want to do the statement?
Yeah.
Let him write his own statement.
Yeah. Let's see. The last thing here, I overlooked it here. Would you be willing to write a written statement of what happened tonight, or?
Oh well, I'd like to eventually have one.
Would you like to write a written
Oh,
statement?
do I
Your
have to
own.
write one?
Your own written
It
statement.
depends on what you're going to come across with. If you come up, if you come up, so it's so negative that I'm a pervert and that I want.
No, this is from you.
No.
This is your account of what happened.
What I'm saying is what I don't know what you have there. So
It's basically
It's a blank statement.
it's a voluntary statement. It's blank. It just lets you know your rights.
it lets me know my rights.
It lets you know your rights.
If I don't put anything that does that relinquish my rights.
No, if you don't want to write anything, you don't have to.
Okay.
It's totally voluntary. This is not something I'm just giving you the opportunity.
Okay. I'm just trying to be careful because
Okay.
I know the legal systems and I like
Okay.
to screw around with you.
That is
Right.
fine. I think that's everything I have for right now. I guess what we'll do is you'll go with another officer for right now.
We gotta do citation. don't we?
Yeah, just a little bit of clerical.
Just
And-
paperwork so that whenever they get you there, they can process you quickly. Okay, we got this. You want me to grab this?
Yes,
Is there anything
okay.
else I need to know about before we
I'll
leave?
hang here until you get.
No, as of right now, there's nothing I can really tell you right now. Other than
Okay.
all this stuff.
Just sit here.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
hang tight
you
with
just
her.
hang tight, and I'll hang here with you until we get somebody in here. Okay?
And take a nap.
Yeah. Tough night.
No. I mean, I don't want to go through this ever again, but tough.
How old did you say you were?
59,
59.
going on 60.
You've seen a lot of life.
Mm-hmm. My father was killed when I was 2 years old.
Really?
He was shot in the back, and my mother was 17.
Wow.
And she brought me up and went through all that. And she died a couple years ago.
Oh, really?
Yep. It's kind of funny.
What is?
No. How my sister and my half sister and they always, they always come back with, you never know. And you don't. You never know. It's kind of, I'm sorry, I didn't really answer your question, but it really does. It's more intuitive than you think. Actually, my mother's said something in my history would always come back. And my mother's brother-in-law was like the head of the Democratic Party in Claremont County, and he was corrupt as hell. I really didn't know him very well, but we'd go down. We could. I mean, we're talking about 30 years here. We'd go down and we'd have rabbit and squirrel in his house. It was that down home. And I don't know what you really want. There was something back in the history of my family that not that she wanted to hide, but she just wanted me to always keep it low. No, and I always didn't do that. I was an up front musician. I played every country club in Cincinnati.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played piano, and I really have. I played it. There isn't a country club in Cincinnati I haven't played. And it's funny. I played for big people. I was thinking, and just as we were talking about, thinking about the time that I played from Marge shot. It's Cincinnati Country Club. I'm sorry, I mean, you're this poor as you, but I'm sorry. We walked in, and Marge and I walked in at the same time. And I said hello. She was a drunkard, just a total drunkard. By the time I finished my first set, they had carried her out of Cincinnati Country Club, stone drunk.
Oh, goodness.
And this was years before all the controversies with the Reds and all that. This is before she even had an ownership in the Reds. Oh, who else have I known over the years? Oh, I've seen Bob Taft and seen Bob Taft's wife in slippers come to a party. Oh God, another case. Oh, we've played so many jobs.
Wow. So what instrument did you play?
I play keyboards.
Keyboard?
Yeah. And I don't do too much of it anymore. I'll play a wedding reception, play just like for cocktail music or maybe for an hour, or play the wedding. I mean, I played organ too. I played for 24 years out in Milford's Methodist Church. Played wedding after wedding after wedding. Never paid anything.
No.
$125 2 nights.
Oh.
I played over at the Christian church over here in Covington a couple weeks ago. One service, one lousy service the week before Palm Sunday. Walked in, did a rehearsal with their choir. $150. Couldn't believe it.
Mm.
If that's the kind of money I was making, you know.
Yeah. Let me check and see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom pretty soon. I don't care. Just take your time.
All right.
Mm.
You all right?
I'm sleeping.
Sleeping?
No.
We're going to be a few minutes. He's getting your citation filled out and everything, and then we'll get you transported over to the jail. Okay?
Am I spending the night in jail?
You probably will. Yeah. All right? You hang tight, and we'll be back to check on you.
Okay. Mm.
Hey Jim, we got one other housekeeping issue. Now, when you came in, you had a cell phone,
Mm-hmm.
and what else did you have with you?
My billfold, my keys, my money.
Okay, did you have, what are those things called? A Trio or Blackberry or?
Trio was my phone.
Okay. We would like to take a look at that.
Fine.
Would you give me consent to do so?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that'd be property, and hereby consent to complete search of property located at,
Self.
it was on your person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's a Trio?
Trio. T-R-E-O.
And you had a cell phone in addition to that,
No,
or it's all one thing?
It's my phone.
Okay. And is there anything else that I would use to describe it?
No, not really.
Trio, okay. I grant this consent to.
It just has all my addresses and all my people on.
Okay. The date is April. I have the time. Let's see if it's on this phone. Such luck.
What, the date?
The time.
No. I don't know.
At the time.
I watched Eye to Days, actually.
You have the time. You have the time. $150. Thanks.
Well, no wonder I'm tired.
Yeah. Let's see, it's 1:50 a.m. Okay, let's go over this and make sure it reads correctly. I hereby consent to a complete search of the property located on my person, and more particularly described as Treo, T-R-E-O. I grant this consent to Agent Catherine Reed, known to me to be an agent of the Office of the Attorney General, and to such other officers deemed necessary to assist. I know that I have a right to refuse to consent, and I voluntarily give up that right. I know that the agent does not have a search warrant. I have not been threatened or coerced in any way, nor have I been promised any favor or benefit. I have read this consent form, or it has been read to me, and I understand it. The date is April 13th, 2007, and this time is 1:50 a.m. Okay. All right, and he's working on the citation. He's almost done with it, I promise. We're going to
Okay.
get you out of here soon enough.
Whatever happens, happens.
All right, thanks. Hey Jim,
Yes.
can we get the number on that? The cell number for that?
I don't really know.
You don't know your cell number?
No, I really don't. I'm trying to think of.
Well, I'll give you a minute to think.
It's on the phone. If you get the phone, I really seriously don't know what it is. I never use it as. I never tell anybody to
Yeah.
call that number.
Is there anything else that identifies it as such?
It's Verizon. It sends directly from my 831 number, from my home number. God, I wish I knew what it was.
What do you mean it sends directly from your 831 number?
I have my 831 at
Forwarded
my
to
home.
it?
Always forward to it. I never use my landline.
Okay.
I just don't know what the number is. It's been so long since I've done it.
Okay, so you're 513
83
831
9425
9425
forwards to that number, whatever it is.
forwards.
And I really seriously don't know what it is. It's on the phone. If somebody brings the phone here, you can get it. It's right there. It tells you.
Okay.
It's Verizon. You can put it in
Verizon. Cell service.
there. Yeah, whatever. I don't know, $68.75 a month. It's a joke.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't know the number. I really don't.
Okay.
I don't even know what it starts with. I really don't have any idea what it starts with.
Did you get it in Cincinnati? The
Yeah,
service
yeah.
come out of Cincinnati?
Yeah, it's over in Beachmont.
So it's a 513
Yeah,
area.
I
code.
just don't know what the next numbers are. I'd be guessing. I'd really be guessing.
So when you use it, you just give people your landline number
Yeah,
and they.
and it forwards to my phone.
Okay.
That's like I said. That's the reason why I don't know.
All right. All right. Well, I'll see if that's enough information. If not, we may have to back up and punt.
No, I hope not.
Thank you.
Getting tired.
Mm-hmm.